So we're quickly approaching turn 500. Things are getting very messy in Africa, which is kind of a first. It's been, I don't know, it's kind of always been a conflict, but now we actually have a great power with Egypt moving in and taking over kind of the western side of the Mediterranean African coast. This is going to be a pretty telling episode, depending on, I guess, how strong Egypt will be. It's definitely possible that we see the same thing from Ramses that we just saw from Maria. Maria decided to peace out. I don't know why. And she clearly had this 13 population city in her hands. It would have gone down to like 6 or something like that. But still, we'll see. I think at the very least, Ramses will take this one over. Yep. He'll probably take over this one at 4. The thing is, will he take over this one at 19 population? That's where things get more interesting. And where Egypt is going to play a bigger role in the whole Portuguese. Because that's what I was saying. I was saying that Portugal and Ramses were going to border each other very soon. If he takes over the capital, then they will. He's going to have to take over like several small cities first, though. Let's also check on happiness. I keep forgetting to check on religion. Maybe we'll briefly touch upon religion, but I don't really want to briefly check in on it. Istanbul did, in fact, fall. We already know Byzantium and Istanbul, the Assyrians don't really like each other, so that could lead to something. In terms of happiness, we've got Sweden at -3, Assyria at -2, -1 for Mali, Portugal at -1. That might be why they peaced out. I need to look into this more instead of just judging people. Drew, stop judging all the time. How did Egypt get... How is Egypt even... Oh, they're only at 2 happiness. So they're going to have to stop soon. That's why I think they're slowing down. Happiness is actually playing a role here. Starting to, at least. Bavaria at #1, but they don't have very many cities. Switzerland's at 1 city. The Dutch are at 1. I like this. I like that there is actually happiness, so that's why some of these people are going to have to peace out. Very interesting. Hey, why is Venice at 0? So, let's go to the next turn. I think that Egypt will be able to take over this city, and then he's going to have to peace out. Or he'll just keep going. I don't know. He won't be able to take over the capital, I don't think. And if he does, he's going to be dealing with some pretty bad barbarians, which, I mean, what are barbarians really going to do? It's not going to be that bad, but it still would be big. This keeps Assyria safe, though. Assyria's got to be feeling good. They just took over the Istanbul capital, or the Ottoman capital, and they know that Egypt's pretty distracted. I really like Assyria. They've got some pretty good cities here. Not bad. And Arabia is just chilling. I'm surprised they haven't peaced out for a city, because like that's usually what happens to some of these like middle of the road civs. They peace out for a city when they're facing somebody far away that has bigger military than they do. But it's fine. International games passed. Embargo of Byzantium once again fails because they still own the World Congress, right? Or the United Nations. That is true. They do in fact still own it. It's still theirs. Look at Sunai. I think Sunai is going to be the one to take this stuff over. Sunai is just going to sweep through this stuff, which would still be pretty interesting. Syria and Prussia have peaced out. Prussia is safe for now. But, the Huns in Finland and Egypt and Finland. Is Scotland finally going to get eliminated? That's what I want to know. Is Scotland going to finally be destroyed? And France really interested in this whole region. I don't really know why. France has tons of ships over here just chilling, just trying to see what's going down. Hey, the British actually managed to make it over to Manchester. I didn't think they'd get open borders through Flanders, but I guess they did. That's kind of surprising. I didn't think they'd do that. Also, Iceland just chilling. Oh, that's where they settled. I knew France was going after another location, but they settled now north of the British. I wonder how the British-French relationship is. It's probably not usual. This is a very unusual scenario because the Celts grabbed Normandy so fast and so early on. The British and France, they haven't really gotten into conflict, have they? Like maybe very early on, but not so much in the late game, which is so weird to not see the British and the French constantly at war. That rivalry plays out throughout all games, all history games. It's crazy. Scotland's holding back. Yeah, Scotland is definitely holding people back. How's Bavaria doing? Okay, so Bavaria's at war with the Pope. but he is having trouble. I don't think Bavaria really cares. Bavaria's just trying to chill. He's got all this happiness. He's got all these wonders. He's doing well. All he has to do is sit here, and there will be a lot of people, I promise you, that argue Bavaria should win. It just happens. And I'll make sure that I give them credit. We will definitely give them credit. You know, with Bohemia not going to war, I mean, we still have several turns. But with Bohemia not going to war, this makes things interesting. It looks like we will be going to at least turn 500. I don't actually, at most, turn 500. Once we go over 500, things get messy. Things get too messy, and it's hard to say. Because if I was playing on King difficulty or Emperor, which is what I usually play on, then I would consider going to turn, 550 or 600 or something like that, like I normally do. But on a mortal difficulty, usually people have most of the technologies. They usually have, most of the tech tree by turn 500, and they have like a good 25 turns to use that stuff. I mean, we have Bohemia and Portugal here with, paratroopers, and actually Portugal doesn't have as many. I don't know why Bohemia likes the bazookas as much. Okay, let's check on the demographics though. Demographics real quick. Look at that. Look how holy crap, this has changed a lot since the last time we saw. Number one now is land, is Egypt's. Number one is Egypt's in land. We've got the Huns now, number one in crop yield though. Bohemia still wins the population and manufactured good games, as well as number one military, and they did pass up Portugal in terms of literacy. That's why they have so many higher units. That's kind of big. Remember, I'm skewing the averages, so you can't really consider the averages as much. Approval doesn't matter. It's weird that I've got 0 happiness, but I'm 100% approval. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But whatever. I feel like they should just give me a 0% since I have 0 happiness. Or do I? I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. Like I said, we still have several more turns, several more videos. It would be hard if the series were to end right now. It'd be very hard to choose a winner. I don't know who we'd go with, cause yeah, this is getting pretty difficult. The Huns have been settling new cities, looks like. I love that most of this map is going to be settled. Look at how beautiful all this stuff is. Like, I keep looking at the mini map at the start of every video, and I'm just like, this is such a beautiful map. I mean, it's got its flaws. There's a few holes. There's a few little border gore areas, but by turn 500, it's going to look pretty. I think pretty for the most part. Most of it's going to get filled out. Not all of it, but most of it will. Yep, I figured Sunai was going to start to have success here. And look at Egypt. Yeah, Egypt did slow down. Egypt's not down. Egypt's not down to take any more cities. They're already dealing with happiness issues. Sunai is going to be the one, I think, to take over most of this stuff. Look at what Sunai's been doing. Sunai was just chilling, watching Mali and Morocco fight it out. I thought they were going to get involved, and they were like, nope, we're good. We're going to chill. We're going to wait for the right time. The city's at now 39 population. Let's check on Warsaw real quick. Warsaw's at 39. Oh my gosh, Warsaw's been caught. I bet you there's another pretty close city around the world. You guys will probably let me know. I'm not always paying attention to, like, city sizes. 27 for Paris. That's not too bad. This is another thing I wanted to check really quick. I probably won't go too in-depth in it, but it looks like Protestantism is winning inside of Finnish. That's the Finnish religion. Then we have Islam from Mali at 48. Wow, it's really close. The Pope at 27. If the Pope dies, he probably won't be expanding it as much. I'm sure he gets some huge bonuses. Buddhism, Morocco. That's right, that was so cool. Buddhism still has a pretty strong hold over Northwest Africa. I think that's awesome. Celts haven't really been able to do much with their religion, neither has Hungary. Wow. Big fight between Protestantism and Islam. And I'm guessing most of... where does Islam begin? So, yeah. Byzantium is mostly Muslim. I forgot about the Assyrians taking out the Hittites. Oh, yeah. So, Assyria is going to get pretty interesting, too. There it goes, right there. So now the Hittites are dead. Oh, wait. The Ottomans were still alive. But the Hittites are definitely dead. Are they? Is that them there? No. Okay, I was going to say, did you find a way to get another colony out? Jeez. How are you doing this? Yeah, the Great Wall has been built by Bohemia. I like the Assyrians, man. I like this. Especially if they have success over Byzantium. I don't think they will. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. But this war that will probably take place before the end of this series is going to be interesting. Again, I'm glad the series is not ending right now because there's still a lot of changes that should happen in the next 50 turns, especially with the upcoming technologies. But man, oh man, if it was ending now, like, ugh. This would be a tough one to call. It's a pretty tough one to call. I'm really liking how Sunai is just moving in, and they're going to wreck all this stuff without Egypt's help. And actually, Portugal needs to be kind of afraid, I think. It's interesting because Sunai is going to block Egypt from getting to the Western Mediterranean, essentially. They're at a good relationship now. I don't know if it's going to stay like that, but Askia essentially is going to block Ramses from some of these other, attacking somebody else, mainly Portugal. Ramses can still go after Rome, and I think he'd have a lot of success there. But I think Egypt's going to chill. He's going to let Sunai take over this stuff. And I don't know if that's like the best plan. I don't know if that's like the best move. Loving how compacted France is together. I figured there'd be a war between these two, but I guess not. I think mostly the internal borders inside of Europe is going to stay the same. I think most of these borders inside of Europe will probably not change that much. Eastern Europe they'll change, the Middle East they'll change, Africa will for sure change. Those borders are going to change a lot. Everything, okay, world's busiest people. We've got the Goths, number 1. That's a pretty big deal. They're probably pumping out a lot of military units. Finland 2, Bavaria 3, the Pope 4, Armenia 5, Bohemia 6, Mali 7, Victoria 8, Vandals, and France at 9 and 10. Okay. That's kind of a big deal. How are the Goths doing? How's their military looking? Prussia is still irrelevant. I think still relevant. I didn't mean to say irrelevant. I'm just saying, yeah, they're still relevant for sure. I think we should take note of that. Manhattan Project now by Assyria. Uh-oh. I wonder if they have any uranium there. There's not much uranium, and I'm not even, as you know, I don't even look at resources anymore. It's a waste of time, especially when we have the 60+ Civ mod and there's constantly war. Keep it at the most basic. I think the reason why these series are so successful is that there's just raw war constantly. There's always things happening. Like right now it seems like a downtime, but there's actually several wars taking place. We've got everyone after Scotland. We've got Bavaria after the Pope. We've got Sunai just ripping through all of the Vandals. Like that's crazy. We're not even really paying attention to it. Like that's just normal for these games. It's like unless there's 10 people all at war at once, then it's a slow time. But I think that's why I stopped doing the whole like looking at strategic resources, because it doesn't really matter. And I've said that before too, because AIs can just trade with each other. But yeah, keeping it at the base form, just going through the series, especially with 60+ civs. Usually these series end up being a little bit longer, and I'm trying to keep them cut down around, like, cause and I've been meaning to make a video about that, and I'll probably do that for like the next crack day. But I want to keep the series down to anywhere between like 20 videos. Like around 20 videos are like the sweet spot. People, I'm not very good at retaining viewership as well as like some of the other like big YouTubers like Quill and Arumba. Really good at like keeping viewership up high for longer series. For some reason that doesn't really work on my channel, and that's totally fine. And I just need to kind of I just got to keep that in mind. So that's why like 20 videos seems like it's the sweet spot for me, because people start to lose interest in my series after 20 videos. So and that's totally fine. Like we will just make sure we have all the things take place in 20 videos, and that's what we do. Carthage is pieced out with a bunch of people, and that is about it. We've got Byzantium and Arabia. Well, they should be fine. Hungary's still traveling across the Middle East. The Huns and Carthage have pieced out. Egypt's starting to move again, and actually Sunai's kind of slowed down. Sunai's kind of slowed down a bit here. They're not going after, like, these are the big cities that you actually need to take, Askia. I don't think I need to mention that. That's like kind of the most important cities. So you should probably get on that somehow. Either, well, okay, well, Egypt's peaced out with Carthage, so Carthage will stay alive for now until I think Portugal declares war on Carthage. I do want to check on Buddhism. I love that. Yeah, so Buddhism is still kind of cornered off in this small corner of this map. I love it. And Islam is pretty much, yeah, taken over all of this other stuff. Who built that? Ooh. Mali declared war on Sunai, and the Goths were the ones that built the Manhattan Project. Uh-oh. Oh, snap. Oh my goodness. Mali is gonna take the biggest city in the world right now. It's actually tied for the biggest city in the world. Mali, holy crap. Alright, Sunai, you messed up. Maybe you did mess up. They don't have any infrastructure in place. I know it's a desert, so they can get back home pretty fast, but... Well, you do have a lot of fighters, so that should help you. Mali has none. Still, you lose your capital, because I was going to say for a brief second, like, hey, yo, let's start looking at Sunai a little bit deeper. That's kind of cool. I did the same thing with Egypt. It's like, oh, shit's getting real with Egypt. We should probably start considering them as a great power. I started doing that with Sunai, if they would have taken over all of the Vandals. But if they lose their capital, it's like, no beans. I can't anymore. You just lost. This is like, especially your capital. Timbuktu is not a bad city, and neither is Jenin, but this was almost at 40 pop. There's going to be people that starve, essentially, here. But, we will see. I mean, is Mali behind in technology? You've got a lot of machine guns and marines. No, you're fine. You're fine. Let's see how much damage they do here. Sunai's Sunai's pushing forward now. They're like, screw it, we have nothing to lose. We're already over here. Don't let Egypt take it. Well, Egypt can't. Not with machine guns. What happened? Did Mali go? Yep. So the siege of this city is going to begin. The thing is, there's still a lot of units, and there's railroads, so these guys can get there really quick. This is either going to be a disaster for Mali, or they're going to take this city, they're going to keep it, and they would just pretty much pull Sunai down. This is like Mali doing like, no, Sunai, you can't win. I'm not going to win. I'm not going to let you win either. I'm going to take your capital city, and then boom. You've got no chance. I just imagine like that just being dragged down. Who took it over? Yep, that's what I figured. So there goes the Vandal capital. That was a pretty good sized city as well. And we should see the siege take place here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there it is. So it's turn 457. Everyone's piecing out with the Vandals. That's Egypt, Sunai, and the Moors all pieced out with pretty much all the big... the Moors weren't really doing anything. They were about to, I think. But, yeah, nothing. Okay. Let's just watch as more than likely this city falls. Holy crap. I didn't think about that. And the Mali's not even that strong. Like, that's the thing. Is Mali didn't really even have that big of a military compared to, like, some of the larger, powers. The fact that they just did this and just caught Sunai with their pants down. And because it's the late game, that's the thing. Because it's such a late part of the game, and it looked like at a point Sunai was going to be as strong as Egypt's. Like, this is huge. And look, that's a 19 population city. Wow. All right. What a twist ending. Anyways, guys, we'll have to stop right there. So what a great way to end this video. Looks like we have about 2 or 3 more videos still left to go at the very least. We're going to kind of take this by ear, and we'll see. But this is going down for sure in my own book as best AI-only battle ever. But we still have several more turns to go, so we'll see what else happens. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.